Well, Chris Popper joined here by Mark Arnold at MDI High School. Mark Arnold, of course, the new head varsity football coach, and you've been very, very busy in the so-called off season. You've had reading programs, you've done signing days. Tell us a little bit about what's gone on.
Well, we're getting rolling here anyway, but it seems like we've certainly been underway with a lot of things here in this off season. It's always a busy. I mean, I think of this time of the year, and going out on the field, that's all scheduled. So that's busy time, but it's all structured in a way. This, it seems like you're kind of reinventing something almost every day. And as we've put together our new staff, sitting down and talking with them, there's been a lot of ideas that we've started to incorporate into what we're doing here in the off season, and it's been really busy for us so far. This week we're doing signing days at all of our elementary schools.
Tell us what signing days entail.
Well, we kind of just use that concept of really setting something special where someone sort of makes a commitment to being part of our program. But it's really a first opportunity for us to sit down with guys who say that they're interested in playing football. And for us, with the change in our coaching staff, even though our coaching staff, the same people are really in place for the most part, there is some changes in the things that we're going to be doing. So getting information out to them, we're starting that process, meeting who those people are, and letting them know kind of what we're going to be doing.
And you did that signing day here at the high school as well, trying to get commitments as to which boys will be playing next year.
Yep, we did that. I can't remember the exact date, but it's been about 6 weeks. We did that a little bit earlier in the year here at the high school. And again, for us, kind of calling it signing day is a chance for us. It gets guys thinking on a specific, like making a decision about whether they are playing or not going to play. And for us, really starting to bring them into our football family. Instead of us just finding out on August, 13th when we start, finding out now and starting to build those relationships between our returning players and people who are going to be coming out from the team. That's a really important part of the foundation of what we think our program's about. And so us setting those signing days is really almost like welcoming someone to our family.
And this whole family atmosphere is something that Mark Shields created and something that you're looking to expand upon.
Absolutely. I mean, I know when I first came here, I think, I'd coached in the past, and but I'd gone away.
Kelly Sanborn, can you please
We'll go through that every once in a while.
Yeah.
I went away from coaching for a while. Really, my work drew me away from that for a period of time. And coming here to MDI and being a part of this program, that was really the
Bo
thing.
Green, can you please call extension 3400?
That was really the thing that played mostly into my thinking about the type of program I wanted to be a part of. And that was, that was front and center with Mark and the program. While I was here working with him, it was something we worked hard to continue growing together, and it's something we'll continue to work on growing.
The last 2 years, you've done the Scudic Days. Is that something that you're planning on doing again in the summer of 2018?
Yep. We've been really fortunate. We've had a local anonymous donor who's provided that opportunity for our kids. The program that I grew up in, and when I was in high school, we had a camp experience very similar to that. And that was something that I talked with Mark about, and when we started doing it here, I kind of, at least from a player's perspective, I'd gone through that as a player. And early in my coaching career, I used to take kids, we had a Boy Scout camp near the first school that I coached at, and we started doing that, and it was always a really meaningful experience. As a coach, you often talk to players that you've worked with in the past, and still a lot of times when I run into former players, that's the first thing that they talk to me about when they come back. they'll ask or say something about camp, and so we wanted to provide those types of experiences for us. So we're planning on doing that again this year. We're all set up to do that. I'd actually just sent in the registration stuff for going out to Schoodic. They've been great working with us. There's the people out there actually send me information like each winter, asking if we're coming back, and then really getting that all set up and ready to go for us. And so we're ready to go again this year, and I know it's something the guys are really looking forward to.
Tell us a little bit about the reading program with the reading teams that you formulated. That's really kind of that whole idea about building in that upper school with a lower school and getting people involved in the football family at a young age.
Yep. I mean, for us, one of the key components I think that we think is important for our players, we're not just turning them into football players. We're working with them to think about like their role as family members, their role as community members, and so we want to give them experiences where our program connects with that. But like you say, for us, it's having our kids start to connect with younger kids and see that in a positive way. One of the really important things in terms of the reading program that we wanted to offer here for our kids is, you have captains on a football team and you provide certain types of structured leadership opportunities for kids. We ask all our kids to be leaders in some way, and this really gave them an opportunity. The reading program, we did this fantasy reading program, and the way that it kind of worked was our players serve as coaches for these younger teams, and it really gets them to step kind of into a different role. They see the perspective of, how we work with them as coaches, but also, how they take a group and inspire them is an opportunity that not all kids get. Even in being on teams, the roles that you really play, you're not often asked to really, unless you are the captain of the team or something like that, you're really not kind of thrust into that situation. And this was an opportunity it was interesting to see different people and how they respond to that. And often, even as coaches, we don't get to see how people are because we have certain people who do assume the captain's roles, and then the others take these other roles. But it was really interesting to see how they stepped up to those challenges. And just like I think of any like conference, the elementary teachers would ask about, the coaches connecting and communicating. It was interesting. I used to say, there's always some teams that are good and some teams that aren't so good, and sometimes that has to do with the players, sometimes it's the coaches, and we saw all that as a part of this, but it was an interesting first experience with that.
Well, you talked about your coaching staff. You've got an addition to your coaching staff. Tell us who it is and what they've done in the past.
Mm-hmm. Brian Dion is going to be our new offensive coordinator. Brian coached here in the past. When I first came here 10 years ago, Brian was actually the offensive coordinator at that time. And then he left and went to Booth Bay and was the head football coach there. But they returned. He was back and he teaches over at Connors Emerson Elementary School. And he's the phys ed teacher over there. They were back this past year, and Brian did come out a few times with us this past fall and worked with the team. But he'll be taking on those roles as primarily our offensive coordinator, but really great to get a guy back in with the type of coaching experience that he has.
Is he going to call the plays as the offensive coordinator?
Yep.
Is that the plan?
Yep. That's part of what we're working through right now, really, is our roles and shifting those roles. That's one of the big things that happens when you have a head coach who steps away from a program. And so, we're working on how that's all going to work out. But I feel really confident in the people that we have on our staff. Tony DeMuro, who's been here with us for, 6 or 7 seasons now. He's worked a lot with the offense, but I've asked him to kind of step up to doing the defense. That was the job that I really did here in the past. I did with Mark here. I was the defensive coordinator, and I'm stepping back from that to focus on some other parts of the roles that we have to fill, and So there's a lot of new learning that we're going to be going through as a staff, but I feel extremely confident in the people that I have on this staff. Everyone's back in place. Brian's the only new one, and like I say, he's a family member that's returning to our team, knows the program, was here with Mark, so we're hoping for kind of that continuity with the coaching staff, but in a lot of new ways, new roles, new learning.
What can we expect from the offense? Continued ground and pound, more of an emphasis on passing, without tipping everything away?
Yep. Well, really, I mean, we've certainly been, our kind of signature here has been running the T, a three-back offense, and we've had the players to do it. And so the first thing that we really did was sit down and say, who do we have coming back and what structure would fit our kids the best. Sometimes you're kind of, I think about it almost like software where you're using something and it's hard to start using something new.
Right.
The biggest thing is just making a change. But we kind of have an opportunity here with a change in the staff to look fresh again at what we're doing. And we really did that with an eye towards who we have returning. I'm not exactly sure, but we certainly are along. We're along further just because of the way the process kind of works with our offense and what we're going to be doing. We have to start teaching that sooner in the summer. We'll start taking kids to 7-on-7, and we'll be having nights here where we start that install of our offense. And so I have a fairly good idea of the structure that Brian's working on with the offense. And there will be changes here in what we're doing. I don't think we'll primarily be a T offense, but a lot of it really has to do with some of those final decisions on how we see.
Anna Rogers, can you please come? Not Anna Rogers. Anna Naggart, can you please come to the main office?
The biggest key for us is we're not returning a quarterback from last season, and so we want to see here early in the summer where we are with the development of some of the guys that we're looking at. And that'll play heavily into, I think, where our package leans in terms of what we're really going to be doing with throwing or passing. I don't think that there's any doubt. I just think it's smart football and at the high school level in Maine to be running the football more than you're throwing the football. And in our situation, there's a lot of things that play into that, and certainly you can be successful doing either, I think, in volumes, but it just depends on where your focus in terms of work is going to be and the type of attitude you want to have as a team. And I think we're still going to be a team that wants to run the ball successfully, but we're hoping over time to develop a quarterback who allows us to throw the football when we need to.
Yeah, for the first time in a long time, there won't be a Phelps back there in the backfield.
Yeah, absolutely. For us, we're losing a lot of good kids. We've had 2 outstanding seasons with some really great athletes that have gone through our program. In the 10 years I've been here, back-to-back classes, there's no doubt the last 2 groups that have gone through here have really been, high quality for us. And we have good kids returning this year for us as well. But we have a lot of new kids. We're hoping, like through the sign-up days and stuff, it looks like we're going to have more kids that don't have as much football experience. And so for us, that again goes back to playing into what are we going to be doing? Well, we're really looking at something that allows us to take guys who maybe don't have as much experience and what we can teach them. So we're focusing on keeping it simple and looking at executing what we do well.
Okay. What am I missing? You're obviously really excited to be in this position, and with the upperclassmen that you have returning, you've got a good nucleus that have been successful.
Yep. For me, the same. More than that, we've had 2 back-to-back classes with good athletes. The past 2 seasons for us, just the quality in terms of character and attitude with kids has been outstanding for us. It's always been what I consider outstanding while I've been here. That's been, for me, the most rewarding thing. And without a doubt, what I'm excited about is just to get back to doing football with our kids. We have a great group of kids just in terms of people coming back. And for me, I know that that always means we're going to have a good season. Because wins and losses, they both teach you lessons. And the most important thing for us, it's exciting to see like how our upperclassmen are welcoming new players. And so I'm interested in getting out there and that just being different. Because it's one thing to come in with a group of guys who, you know, they played football all the way through. We've seen them out there, you know, practicing on the other end of the field when they were little. But it's exciting to think that we're going to have some guys out there that this is their first time giving that a try. And in a way, it kind of benchmarks our program in terms of, I think, we say, you know, we're about family and about the things that aren't up on the scoreboard. Well, this will be a real test for us and how we welcome people into that and whether we turn them out with what we think the most important things are from the game.
All right, so obviously if you're watching and you have a son or you are a young man that's interested in coming out for the MDI football team, the best thing to do is to reach out to Coach Arnold.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, one of the things you were just asking is, you know, what else or whatever. We really have a list of things that we put together that go beyond playing games on Friday night, that we're trying to make this a unique opportunity. I know when Bunky had talked to me about taking the position, and one of the things that I talked to him about is I want the people who are a part of our program to feel like this is an uncommon opportunity, that there aren't many chances for someone to have as many opportunities to grow as a person as they can through our program. We're very fortunate in terms of our school offering such a broad range of those types of opportunities, and our goal as a program is to make sure that any athlete that we get the chance to work with here feels like this was truly an uncommon opportunity to grow as a person. And so we've got a lot of things planned that we think will be exciting, that are new, and we really hope that we'll get, you know, guys who have signed up, who come into the program, and stay with the program and really grow as people.
All right. Well, we're going to continue doing the coaches shows as we go through the summer. Once 2 days start, we'll do that, and possibly 1 or 2 videos over the summer as well. But we look forward to broadcasting all the MDI football games. We actually have the schedule up already on the website, and we'll link it here on the story as well. Coach, best of luck.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for watching. Check out all the other videos we have on the WDEA YouTube channel.